Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another episode, people, of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. Hey, man, I thank y'all for tuning in. Now, listen, I know it's like super cold, man, where everybody is. I really hope and pray everybody is staying warm, bundling up, doing whatever they got to do. If you got to be out here in all this mess today, please don't be if you don't have to be. But if you do, stay warm. Please, people. I'm in my, my little Carl Thomas sweater and whatnot. I had to put that on today with the chain and everything. I had to do a little different look for y'all. But anyway, we back again with another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast, people, where we do real coaching in real time. But what we're doing is we are taking a break from the coaching for this particular week. And what we're doing is we have a follow-up episode. And with this follow-up episode, this is somebody who was on here before, you know what I mean? Because it would be a follow-up episode if it wasn't with somebody who was previously on here, who we had either coached or we talked about a few things with. So who we have with us, y'all, is Nikki Spiller. Whoa, let me bring it on real quick. Bam. There it is. Let me see. There you go. You unmuted now. What's up, girl?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's been a great day today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, Miss Nikki, tell the people about yourself a little bit more and about more of what you do and kind of like your experience the last time you were on here, so they kind of get a feel of what we're going to kind of get into today.
Okay. Well, I'm Nikki of Nikki Sleep Designs. I do graphics, social media management, brand management, anything you need to make your small business shine is what I want to do, is help get those aesthetics together. It's basically a hobby that started, a business that started as a hobby, and now it's a blessing to other businesses. Definitely my background is in surgical tech. I'm 40, no kids. I'm a member of Presence of the Lord Bible Church, where I also do media at. And alongside a phenomenal team and phenomenal partners, and just in just a going on right now. And I'm just loving life right now, just walking in my talent, being able to bless people with what I do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And how was your experience the last time you were on here? You had the coaching session and everything. So how was that?
It was awesome. I loved it. I like any time that I can find a solution for things. I'm a solution-based mindset. I like being able to talk to somebody who doesn't know me as well, because sometimes, usually, if you talk to people who know you very well, they kind of have a biased look at you, a certain lens that they look at you through, versus sometimes somebody who hasn't known you as long and have no preconceived notions, and they're just listening to you very closely. So, yeah, it was a pretty good experience. Came to a few conclusions and things like that. Just got to work on what I need to work on.
There you go. Facts. That's what's up. That's what's up. And I know that some of those conclusions were like, just with, wanting to be heard, people listen to you a little bit more and everything. Do you feel like you've gotten a little more comfortable with that since that time and everything?
Yes, most definitely. I learned, yes, I could be heard, but first I had to change my energy. It started with me.
Okay.
In the self work I started doing, and affirmations I started doing, and changing my energy. Because I can't control anybody else. I can control me.
Okay. Facts. Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So it all starts with whatever you want to attract. You got to start inside of you. For people to be heard, begging for it is not going to get it, but really putting your brain into other things and putting your energy into other things and working on yourself, you'll start to attract it, and not trying to force that. It will naturally happen in the progress of it. And literally, it turned a few things around, personal, business relationships around for me.
Definitely. That's what's up. So when you say energy, let the people know what you mean by you have to change your energy.
You have to be open. As much as we think we're open, sometimes we're not as open as we think we are. If you're doubting yourself, if you're doubting what you have to offer, your own talents, sometimes you can repel that, because if you're not confident, people can kind of see that. And even when you get frustrated and you feel like japping out is the way to go, it's not. It's just more so being more expressive in an effective way and finding out how the recipient listens. How do they
Ooh,
heal?
I feel you. Feel you on
It's
that.
finding out. If you're really interested in changing that, you got to find out how your recipient hears,
Mm-hmm.
and then
It's like a
also timing is everything too.
I feel you because you know what I tell people all the time. I say, you know what, uh, part of growing is really just understanding how people react to you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And a lot of times, what we want to do is we want everybody just to adjust to us. You know what I mean? And how we are. But a lot of times, adjusting, having people just adjust to who we are, that doesn't help. Sometimes, people give us all type of feedback when it comes to us,
It
who we
doesn't.
are, and
It
everything of
doesn't
that
like
nature.
you. Yes, and it's not. They don't know you.
Hmm.
Like your family and friends know who you are, but if you're going out into the world full of strangers, they don't know who you are, and the world is not going to adjust to you.
Facts. I agree. I
You
agree.
got to learn how to adapt and overcome.
Hmm. And I know we've talked before, about some other stuff. So what other things have you kind of learned? What other techniques or tactics do you do to look more within?
Affirmations, reading books. Reading books is number one. I'm
Hmm.
gonna tell people this off top. In the Black community, we're not taught to build our identity and how to. You know how you get told what to do, but never how to.
Hmm.
And the how is what people are looking for. So where do I start at? Reading books.
Hmm.
Because you can tell the difference when you start feeding your mind different things. When you start
Okay.
feeding your mind something different. So if you're not really putting the effort forth to really make the decision to feed your mind something different, your outcome is always going to be the same in every situation. Because you can take any situation and turn it around by
True.
affirming manifestation, but manifestation without a plan is delusion.
Mm. Okay.
So basically, if you're just sitting up like, I'm hoping it's going to fall in my lap and I don't have to put any work in on myself or anything else around me, this is what I'm just saying, is what a lot of religious people and people who get into spirituality do. Those things are great and you want to be tapped in, but you also got to put your work. Faith without works is dead. So if you're saying you want to change, you got to
Hmm.
change. You got to
Facts.
change.
Facts. You're not
You're the
lying. And
common
that's
denominator in your life.
facts. And you're not lying. That's what you have to do. A lot of people don't understand that when it comes to just putting in effort, you know what I mean? It's just that little bit of effort you have to put in, and it's like I had an interesting conversation with my wife today about
And people
just
think
how
they got to
some
make
people don't reckon. We got a little bit of a lag, Nick.
Yeah, we do. I was like, wait.
Yep. So let me get this thought out real quick, and I'll
Okay.
slide it right over to you.
Okay.
I had a real interesting point with my conversation with my wife, and what it was about was sometimes people do things, and she was saying how it's hard for her to understand how people can't see the wrong in what they're doing. Well, she said sometimes they do see the wrong in what they're doing, but they keep on with the action of it. You know what I mean? They can see how something can either
Mhm.
negatively affect, they can see how something negatively affects them and others around them, but they keep repetitively doing it. Now, I
Yeah.
told her to some extent, yes, people do know that it could be something bad. You know what I mean? And they can know and they can be like, oh man, this ain't good for me, or maybe I shouldn't keep doing it. But I said sometimes people do these things because it makes them feel good, or sometimes they might be in so deep they just don't know how to get out of it. What do you speak to that? Can you hear me?
All right, now I can. It froze.
Oh, okay, it froze. You know what? Because there is a little bit more lag because I was quiet for a minute, yo. Okay, so there's a little bit of lag on this, and you know what? You might have to log back out and come back in, and we'll go ahead and we'll pick it back up in a second. Okay. Just go ahead and do that for me. Just log back out and come in and we'll pick it back up.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Let's see. So yeah, people. So I just want to know how y'all feel about that out there. You know what I mean? The thing is, sometimes people can see what they're doing and they know that they're dealing with issues that can negatively affect them, right? But they're not willing to deal with the problem so fast, right? They're just not willing to deal with the aspect of that. So that's what Nikki's going to come back. She's actually back right now. And she'll be able to expound upon it. There
All
we
right.
go.
Better. All right.
Okay, go ahead. So did you hear my whole explanation, or you said it froze, so it must have cut out on you?
Yeah, it just cut out on me.
Okay, this is what I was saying. I was saying that me and my wife, when we had our interesting conversation, it was more so about people recognizing that they can be doing something bad that may negatively affect them or others. But my argument to that was, I was like, well, sometimes maybe people don't see it. They can see it, like they know it's bad for them, but they stay in it. You know what I mean? She's like, well, why do they stay in it if they know that it's bad? Well, I'm like, well, babe, sometimes people just, when they look at themselves, they do things because it feels good to them. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's even that much harder for them to pull themselves out of it. So what do you think about that notion?
When you develop certain habits, you
Mhm.
have to do the habits that serve you and the habits that don't. And a lot of people got bad habits that serve who they are at that point in time,
Mhm.
and their mindset is stuck in that space.
Mhm.
You have to really look at the mindset of the person and where they're at, because if they feel like nothing's wrong, some people do really walk around like they don't feel like they're doing nothing wrong. You
True.
know, they do their actions. They don't see any problem with it. They've never been called out on it. I mean, if you really think about it, life, people call us out.
Mhm.
You know, so if you're not being held accountable and saying, hey, blah blah blah, most people don't like going into that realm. So they say, oh, that's just who such and such is, or oh, we've done that with people we've known our whole life. Our parents, our grandparents. Oh, that's just grandma just mean, that's how she talks. She's just blunt. No, she's actually just rude.
Very
Some
true.
stuff don't
Big
gotta get
facts.
said.
That's true. Big facts, And that's how it is sometimes with people. You know what I
We
mean?
enable a lot of people. You we do. We enable a lot of
Mhm.
stuff in people. So that's why they don't feel that they're wrong. They'll be like, I don't see nothing wrong. They really don't see nothing wrong because nobody said nothing to them. There's been no correction.
Exactly. And that's a big thing too. You know what I mean? You can't harbor an environment of change if you don't try to put forth some type of correction. If people don't try to give you some type of accountability, or they don't try to give you anything to kind of go off of that can be some good direct guidance, for some type of change. It's very hard for people to foster that in a different environment, or any environment, and you ain't lying. Shoot, we do accept a lot of people just for who they are. And I feel that at times it's very hard for us to give people the truth because we don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings. You know what I mean?
But they don't mind hurting yours, though. That's the part.
Oh, come on now. D- d- yep, that's it. They
Okay.
don't mind
They don't
hurting
mind
yours
hurting
at
yours,
all.
though. All right. To get what they want.
You are very much so correct because, and it's usually people with those harsher or brasher types of attitudes towards people who have a real direct way of looking at life. You know what I mean? With no other type of openings and no other type of outlets to get out of. Usually some of these people, they don't have a lot of friends either. They usually keep to themselves. They run way one-sided about life. They feel harshly and strong about their conversations, but it's really hard for them to let other people inside. You know what I mean?
It's a mentality. It's a I think I'm right. It's ego, just to be honest.
Oh yeah. I
It's
agree.
mostly ego. Like, they don't want to think about how many times we were told we can't correct older people, but sometimes they be wrong.
True. There's a difference between respect and being disrespectful. You know what I mean? You can want respect, but you have to give respect in order to get it. You know what I mean?
And there's
So
nothing wrong with correction. Nobody's above correction. If you keep opening your eyes every day, ain't nobody above correction.
that's true. You know,
And there's a
even a
respectful way
child
I
can
can
teach you
correct
something.
if you are wrong. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
arrogance and generationally, we've been taught we don't
Hmm.
question older people. By the way, just because you're older doesn't mean you're wise. Um, that's a misconception.
Very, very true. Very, very true. I've had a lot of older people tell me certain things, like they were telling me wisdom. You know what I mean? But you let some people speak, and it's always up to the person. It's up to me, or it's up to you, it's up to the next person to kind of learn how to filter all of that out. You know what I mean? And I've just learned, let people talk, let people say some of their ignorance. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can learn from ignorance. Sometimes you can take something away from people because you never know what anybody is gonna give you. But for the most part, when people give you that boo boo, they give you that boo boo. You got to look
Mm-hmm.
the other way, yo. Ain't no use in trying to revel in the craziness, especially if you're trying to get out of it. If you're trying to do
Right.
better for yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because sometimes people get offended, and not being funny. Sometimes people get offended, like they have access to the same stuff too. If you really are open to it, if you're really open to learning, you never stop being a student of life. It's the
Hmm.
moment that you stop being a student of life is when you think you know everything, and okay, nobody tell me nothing. Okay, man, well, can you make a call from my smartphone? I'm gonna humble you real quick. Can you, or who? You gonna ask me, right? And it's not an arrogant statement. We all need each other.
Definitely, definitely, and I think that's what that
So we
boils
need to
down to
all
more
start
or
walking around.
less.
You older generation, middle generation. We all need each other in some type of way. I've had somebody younger than me show me with Snapchat how to really use it, and I'm 40.
Hmm.
That's not old. We were around for all the upcoming, but some of the stuff we be like, I'm lost. What is this supposed to be for?
This is true, and I'm nervous about that. I don't want to get.
Like I'm lost. What is this supposed to be for? Because stuff be disappearing, and I'm trying to figure it out. What is this? It's some thinking like, why stuff disappearing? Like,
Hmm. Because Snapchat got limits. Them the people.
no,
Snap.
but
I
if you're
say.
with somebody who has the correct knowledge,
Mhm.
they'll tell you what it's used for, and they're like, oh, you can get an audience this way. You can do. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Very much so true. I always tell I always say people who use Snapchat, them be the people who trying to be sneaking and geeking. I ain't saying that's what you trying to be, y'all, but I'm just saying because what Snapchat does is it has the ability, you can set it to get rid of the chat after a certain amount of time. So when your stuff was disappearing, it was set on sneaking and geeking mode. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was set on sneaking geek mode. So yeah.
Uh-huh. No face, no case.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So I ain't trying to condone people in wrongdoing, but for the people that are listening, y'all know, y'all use Snapchat, y'all know what it's
let me
about.
let me go a little deeper though.
Mm.
It actually is speaking to our attention span.
Ooh,
They're programming
true.
us and we don't get it. They're
Mm.
programming us to have short term. They don't want us to be wise or smart. How would the government get away with anything if we're paying
Now say that
attention? We
again,
gotta.
because you said short term. What you kind of cut out?
I said short term attention. They can do things in front of us. Why would the government want us to be smart? Why would it want its people to be smart and adapted? Nobody can
Oh
question anything.
Lord. So you about to make us go down that rabbit hole?
I'm gonna be cool and go back to mindset. I'm gonna stick to the rivers and lakes I'm used to, and I was just.
Oh we start going there. This show might get shut down real quick. Facebook might try to turn it off one good one.
I'm just saying, like, look at the programming. Everything short term is getting shorter and shorter. Our attention span
Hmm.
is smaller and smaller. I never had ADHD. I never had a problem paying attention to
Hmm.
and focusing in. I
Yeah.
got a problem going through a whole book. I gotta discipline myself. I never had that problem. When I was a kid, I could read a book in an hour.
Mm.
Why? Because there was no technology
I feel
at
you.
that time like that. Things distracted me in my mind. I had time for growth and I made time for growth.
Hmm.
I had time to sit and use my imagination and draw and read. Those are all my talents. Nobody's working their talent because they've succeeded at us not knowing what it really is.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. I
We're
want to
not
know
sitting
what.
there reading books. That's dangerous. They're like, y'all, you actually read a book? Oh my gosh.
I want to know what book is the name. What's the name of that book you read?
It is the 15 Invaluable Laws of John C. Maxwell.
Okay. So what's the premise of that book since you've been reading it?
Basically, it goes through 15 laws that have to do with reevaluating self. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first law is the law of intentionality. Growth doesn't just happen. Two, the law of awareness. You must know yourself to grow yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Three, the law of mirror. You must see value in yourself. And these chapters all basically deep dive into
Okay.
you looking at self. And at the
Mm-hmm.
end of it, really answering questions to evaluate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you really where you think you are? Because a lot of people we dwell in the land of the Lulu. We think we don't have nothing wrong and
True.
we don't need to improve. And you're like, well, you just came in here and cried a river about okay. But the law of reflection, learning to pause, allows growth to catch up with you.
Mm.
The law of consistency, motivation, keep going, discipline, keep growing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can be motivated for a little bit and get going, but your discipline and your habits are what's going to keep you going. Discipline is something
Definitely.
we don't talk about a lot.
Oh yeah.
The law of environment, growth thrives in conducive surroundings. So if you're not
Mm.
putting yourself in an environment that is conducive to the goals that you have at hand,
Mm-hmm.
then you cannot expect that to happen. And a lot of people are scared to change their environment. That's the
Very true.
number one
Very,
thing.
very true.
The law of design to maximize growth development strategies.
Mm.
And then this one is the one that stood out to me the most because it's something I deal with very
Mm-hmm.
well. It's not very well. The law of pain. Good
Mm.
management of bad experiences lead to great growth.
Let's talk about that. Let's
That
talk about
one
that.
stood out the most
Let's talk
right
about that.
there. Yeah.
Because what I've noticed is that we in a generation where a lot of people are we cutting people off. You know what I mean? Where we deal with that little bit of hurt.
Mhm.
We're being silent. We're not being as expressive. Um, Relationships are now looked at as like a I don't know, like a holding spot for people to just say, okay, I was with you for like a year or two. You know what I mean? And the moment you do something to
Mhm.
piss me off, make me upset, I'm done with you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's like that law is talking about. You have to learn how to manage that pain, manage that hurt to get over it. Because if you never learn that process at all, or don't, there might everybody's process is different. Let's say that too. Let me let people know that everybody's process to healing is different. No one
It is.
person is going to go through the same exact thing to heal. I got to say that to y'all real quick.
Yeah.
But I feel that that's something that y'all have to learn and y'all got to know because we gonna be hurt every day of our life. People are gonna let us down every day of our life. You know what I mean? If you learn how to deal with it now, the sting and the bite won't be as bad later on. Nikki, how you feel about that, girl? Talk to us. Talk to us.
So in the law of pain, it says every problem introduces a person to himself.
Mm,
So every time you're presented, and that's John McDonald, that's a quote from him.
okay.
Each time we encounter a painful experience, we get to know ourselves a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Pain can stop us dead in our tracks or can make cause us to make decisions we would like to put off, deal with issues we would rather not, and make changes that make them uncomfortable. That is a big one that I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the world deals with.
Mm-hmm.
We don't deal with pain very well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we want a quick fix, and sometimes there's not a quick fix.
Definitely. I
Sometimes the
agree.
healing is within. Like sometimes you've been to the emergency room and the doctor be like, "Well, there's nothing I can do about it." You have to go home and see it
Mm-hmm.
through.
Exactly.
Sometimes God put us in situations where He like, I could, but I'm something because this you keep making the decision and putting yourself. Like people say, "Oh, heartbreak, this and that." Let's go into it. There was a clip that was posted.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, there's a lot of men we've poured into and they didn't give us anything back. Let's pause. Did they cause that pain or you caused that pain? That's the real
Mm-hmm.
question. Because a
True.
lot of times, was that even your assignment? Or did you
Mm-hmm.
see somebody you wanted to come up and be and hope that they would pick you and say,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, how awesome she is. She fixed me up or he fixed me up and they're going to pick me now. No,
Mm-hmm. You know.
we cause 90% of our pain. Like literally we do. We really,
Mm-hmm.
really do. If we really
Facts.
look in retrospect, like people can't hurt us if we don't allow them to.
That part right there, people. That part right there. And to speak to that other point you made also, when you were talking about it's nice to, to have somebody fix you. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna lie. I really thought I had this mentality until I actually just went through all this myself. I had this mentality like, when a person adds value or you add value to them, I really thought it was up to you to help aid that person in their healing. And I always say, now looking back on it, I see how that was really dangerous. And I say it's dangerous because if you see something that you feel that you should expedite, or you feel that you see something that you should move on, and that's not particularly where that person is, you can either drive a wedge, you could get closer to them if you meet the need, but you can more so potentially drive a wedge in between you and that person
Mm-hmm.
because you're helping them with what you think they need help with. You're trying to put them in a position with your own feelings, your own ways, your knowledge about certain things, and you're not allowing a person to really discover that on their own, you know?
And you're trauma bonding.
Mm.
Like you got to be careful with that. I don't want to trauma bond with people I don't want to get to know.
Hmm.
I I want to know more about you to understand you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to trauma bond with you because then all you're gonna do is now create an environment where it's always woe it's me.
Hmm.
And you're steady the person trying to put a band-aid on it and you can't because that person has to look within and see that they are the problem and they are also the solution. You can't fix me.
Facts.
Nobody's here to fix me. There's only one savior. And I'm not it.
I know that's right. You better let them
I
know.
have to be my own personal savior. I can't
Hmm.
fix anybody else because I'm steady a work in progress. But we can help each other be better by not giving into the mindset of victimhood, but also of victory and saying,
Hmm.
hey, EQ and IQ, little stuff like that. My best friend says that to me, EQ and IQ.
Oh,
When you
okay.
start getting to fussing, EQ, we go stay here, you
Hmm.
know? And then when you have your mental sessions, that's good. Sometimes people
Yeah,
need to get it out, but we don't want to stay there. All right, now what's the
that part.
solution?
That part. That's it.
Because I don't want to keep having this conversation. So what's the solution? Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. It's like
Hmm.
let's go into another space now because we're not going to attract what we're looking for if we keep staying in that space. But the law of
Fact.
pain definitely was and John C. Maxwell, by the way, little backstory, he used to be a pastor, so he teaches a lot of leadership and he noticed a lot of leadership was lacking.
Hmm.
And he said even a lot of pastors now don't feel like they need leadership courses,
Mm.
but you do need leadership. And
Yeah,
this is, if you don't know yourself, how you about to lead anybody else?
very true. Very, very
Like,
true.
if you're not self-aware, how are you trying to tell somebody else how to be self-aware? So everything starts and
Mm.
begins with you. But yeah, it's the law of pain. This chapter right here was is everything.
Oh,
Because
I
I
bet.
don't like pain. I'm gonna tell you personally the reason I related to it because I stayed away from marriage and relationships because I don't want to feel pain. I don't like my
Mm.
feelings hurt. I'm a very sensitive person. And
Mm.
my best friend was like, you have to learn to embrace pain because growth comes from pain. You can't be scared of it. She said, we spend our lives trying to run away from pain so bad, and it's inevitable.
Hmm. And you know what helped me out with that?
So we must
Um,
embrace it.
And you know what helped me out with that? I was talking to my wife. I told her, and I told her that when we first met, and I have this ability not to put my full trust and confidence in people. You know, the Bible also says not to put your trust and confidence in man. And
That
I
part.
really believe it. And when the Bible says that I'm going to get hurt, that tells me that what I have to do in order not to get hurt is that I have to look inward to my own abilities. I have to trust what I'm doing as I'm trusting God upstairs. You know what I mean? And he gonna do his thing to provide all my needs and everything. So
Yeah,
I can't trust
yeah,
people. I can't rely on people to provide and do for me what God is already asking and telling me. What God is asking me to do for him and what he's saying he'll do for me if I acknowledge and accept him. I can't put that burden on a person.
no,
Because I remember when me and my wife first got together, I said, well, babe, I have to, you got to trust me as I trust God. And I have to trust you as you trust God with certain decisions that you make and different conclusions that you come to. She literally said to me, she was like, well, that's impossible. I don't know how you could do that. I said, well, you gotta trust and believe what that word say. That's the first step to it all. She sees more of it now because we've been talking more about it and everything like that. I do the best I can to lead by example, but I truly do not put expectations on people. You know what I mean? Because if you set a bar so high, that means the expectations for them to reach that bar. And if that person
yeah,
cannot reach that bar, what's going to happen? You are going to get let down. You are going to get hurt. You are going to feel that pain. And then now you got to deal with it. If you
yeah,
accept it head on that you already going to get let down, that sting don't hurt as much. It's not going to hurt as bad because you already know where it's going to go.
yeah. The thing is, the ideal of people versus the reality of people. A
Yes.
lot of our hurt comes from we have this, and I've done it. I'm guilty of it. You see
Mm-hmm.
this person, you see the great things in them, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, there's this and that. And we get excited about them, and we fail to realize they are human first. Yes, you see those great things. Those that does not negate the great things that's inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
But don't set the bar so high. Let them be. Just be. Like let them be who they are. Because I'm a person. I get frustrated when I feel I can't figure you out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I like to get along. I'm actually genuinely interested in the person that's in front of me. You know. So when I can't figure you out, then I have to be like, okay, Nikki, where did you go
Mm-hmm.
wrong? Because you can't control them. You know. So where do you go wrong? Because there's
Mm-hmm.
like I had something with somebody and they're like, oh, what happened? Look, I have to step back. Whenever I'm finding myself in any situation, the only
Mm-hmm.
person I can change is me, my energy. And it goes
Facts.
back to the law of pain. The law of pain has always been my downfall. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like pain. So I'm a person that will cut you off real quick
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking three steps ahead, like, oh, I see this going left and I don't got time for it. So I'm just cut it off. And I had to learn in life you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't cut people off, but it was a defense mechanism for me. It wasn't even really about them. It was a defense mechanism for me to say, okay, well, I don't want to feel that anymore. We're good. So I pretend
Okay.
I put on my poker face, and
Mm-hmm.
but in real life, I really care about people, and people don't realize how much I really, really care about them. And then I
Mm-hmm.
had to realize, Nikki, everybody's not ready for that level of love either. You got to remember where this person is at, not where you're at, or what you can receive. You got to know what that person can
Facts.
receive. There are a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
struggling with insecurities and self-esteem issues that don't feel that they are worthy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you got to keep that in mind and just ask the right questions. Um,
Facts. I agree.
you got to ask the right questions and observe very closely. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people aren't cutting you off because you did something bad. Sometimes people have the mentality they self sabotage. It's too good to be true. And they're like, I don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got to just be and let them observe you and let them come to their own conclusion that, oh, okay, such and such is who they say is. Okay. Some people do got to come to their own conclusion. Sometimes you got to let people think for themselves and
Mm-hmm.
go be. So that's why the affirmations in the morning, how you start your day, how you start your morning, are also things I incorporate.
Yeah.
Um, Taking that time. Waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning in complete silence, imperative. If you can't be with yourself in silence, you got a lot of war going inside of you. Because I
True.
need that time. And if
True.
you are uncomfortable being by yourself, that's where a lot of people mess up too. I'm cool being by myself. I was raised like an only
Mm-hmm.
child, even though I'm not. But I
Mm-hmm.
have to have space for myself. Being around people 24/7, even as many people like me, or I come off charismatic. They're like, I can't believe you're actually
Mm-hmm.
introverted. I am. I'm extroverted, honey. And I do like people and I do like helping people. But most part, I like being to myself because you get more clarity when you're with yourself. And you got to be okay with being with yourself because even when you get married, your spouse is not going to literally live forever.
Exactly.
They're not. You
Mm-hmm.
still have to have your own identity.
Exactly.
Those are things, that's how my mind works. Like the what
Mm-hmm.
ifs. Like if this person leaves, I have to prepare and say, yes, they're not going to always be with me. They could flip on me and say they don't want me tomorrow. I got to be okay with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know the ins and outs of me. That's what being single actually is for. Find out what you're made of.
Exactly. You know what? Real talk. I want to speak on that self-sabotage because that self-sabotage is real. You know what
It
I
is.
mean? There a lot of
I've done
times
it.
when yeah, girl. A lot of times when we look into that too good to be true phase, because somebody can come along, or just a person or a situation or a different relationship can come along, and somebody can be treating us right. The situation can be good. Everything can be mapped out. I've been in situations, especially when I was younger, where people would just do things for me and they could have catapulted into something even bigger. But I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
ready for that. I was self sabotaging because I was coming up with every excuse in the book as to why I could not do it, or why I couldn't perform, or why I couldn't achieve it. When really I could have done it, but it was just fear. It was just that fear of the unknown. Now let me say that, people, because a lot of times when we self sabotage, all it is just fear of that unknown, because we don't know what the next step is going to be. The first step was just given to us, and now it's just so simple, right? But what I've learned is that fear of unknown is just consistency. You have to learn how to be consistent in anything that it is that you do. If you learn that consistency will teach you not to self sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency will teach you to be more self-aware. Consistency will teach you to be more alert, to notice the things and the people around you and how they affect you. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to speak on that self-sabotaging real quick, because I feel that the biggest part of why people self-sabotage is, one, they have a fear of the unknown. And then with that fear of the unknown, they have to keep whatever it is that they were doing up. So now they have to have that battle of consistency.
Also, it comes from actually believing you're worthy.
That too.
People
That too.
people don't really believe, like, you know how you can have a dream and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this to happen. I want this to
Mm-hmm.
happen. And man, and it starts happening and they start folding
Yeah.
and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, hey, hold on. They scared. You start getting scared, like, wait, this happening real fast. And it's like, well, you asked for this though, you
That's what you
know?
asked for.
It's
Yep.
just like people that say, like, oh well, I want this and that. But the part they forget, did you build your mindset to believe you're worthy to receive it? You
Very
can ask
true.
for a lot of things, but you got to be able to receive it too. Like kids have no problem receiving anything. Because they're
Facts.
not jaded. Nobody's destroyed their confidence
Nobody has
or made
corrupted
them
the
doubt
innocent mindset
themselves.
of the child.
They're like, yes, like we have to learn how to be more childlike, but not childish. Being childlike is
I like that.
basically the innocence and being like, oh my gosh, and excited about stuff and not letting nobody ruin. Like, think about when you was focused on
Mhm.
something when you was a kid, right?
Yeah,
Nobody could stop you.
that's true. You wanted what you
Nobody.
wanted.
You wanted what you wanted. Your parents could
Hmm.
say no. They could say this. You like, sure, I'm gonna get it.
Facts. You
I'm
ain't
gonna get
lying.
it. And because you why? You believed it belonged to you. But as we become adults and they programmed us and life has hit us and we let all these different energies in,
Hmm.
now we sit in doubt.
We
Like,
do.
have you ever just sat with yourself and said, man, I never used to think like this. What's going on?
Yo, I have had moments like that. It's usually when I'm not busy. It's normally when times
Yeah.
when I don't have a lot going on, or like I've had projects and stuff dies down. That's why I like this podcast. This podcast is a level of consistency that I keep up. The radio show will be something else that I have to keep up. Oh, and y'all, just a real quick plug in for the radio show. The Life Coach Jeff Show will be airing on Biggs Radio Network on February 5th. That'll be our first episode, people. And our first interview
Yes.
will be with my boy Smooch Wallace, man. Smooch Wallace, he's a
Smooch.
comedian, he's a singer. You know, that's my Ace Boone Coon. That's a new brother that I've gained just by meeting towards the end, more so towards the end of last year. So yeah, the last quarter of last year. Yo, yeah, y'all check this out. Y'all tune in to the Life Coach Jeff Show, because this is going to be a different side to where we'll do interviews. Like, we're not going to be as formal as this. You know what I mean? We serious because with the podcast, we have a message to push. You know what I mean? But with that show, it's just going to be people just kind of shooting the shit with Life Coach Jeff a little bit. You know what I mean? I got to say it like that. Sorry for my Christian people out there who don't, who think I don't cuss, but I do a little bit, I'm just saying, I got to put it out there for the people, because sometimes they think Life Coach Jeff is perfect. No, I'm not perfect. No, it's some things that I say, it's some things that I do. Yeah, just because y'all don't see me all the time. Y'all don't see me all the time. But anyway, y'all tune in to that show, man. I'm going to have more information. I have flyers and stuff as we get closer to the date. But I just got to let y'all know that. Yes, I'm sorry, Nikki. I had to throw that in there, girl. Had to throw that plug in there.
We always about the promotions, boo.
There it is, girl. You know how we roll. You know how we do.
You know how we roll. Hello.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Wait, talk about your business again real quick. Hold on. Tell the people what you do. I'll blow you up. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm about to blow you up. Get to talking. Boom.
Okay. Designs. Once again, brand management, social media management. Look, as a business owner, being on social media is full-time work. So you need somebody who can sit there and promote the things that you want promoted, and the things you want to put in the forefront, so you can gain more business and do the things you're supposed to do with your business. And so definitely flyers, aesthetics mean everything in the business. Aesthetics are everything. Marketing is everything. That's the first thing you should actually invest in, just truth be told, in your business. Because people definitely look at how you present yourself, and then they want to know how you do business. So definitely investing in that marketing piece, promo videos, I do it all. I'll come out, take your photos, headshots, all that stuff. And I have collaborated with,
come on, girl, let them know.
Just Fly Photography. My boy Paul Kaiser, to do headshots. His mission, our mission this year, is to make sure a lot of Black businesses, y'all have the professional aesthetic, so we can take your business to the next level. Yes, we are and I just booked him with one of my clients to do a commercial. He does commercials, y'all, ads, all that stuff. He does graphics too. You know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful.
So I'm connecting him with all of my clients and anybody else who want to tap in. Go follow both of us. We're on all platforms, TikTok, Facebook. I just connected him with my newest client, Healthy in Space, Deontay Glover. I need y'all to watch Shop Talk 7, my other show that I brand manage. Also, Reggie Moving Forward, who has the nightcap that comes on Tuesday.
Big ups to Reggie.
Tuesdays right after show. I need you to follow who is Smooch. I need y'all to go follow Rock Truth Radio and Rock Truth, Mary Selena K and Dr. J, Pastor James Adams, and President of the Lord Bible Church. Hey, we're doing this thing. We're building a community. We're building an ecosystem. And the boy of my, in the words of my boy, Get This D, Dennis Smith, like, we are building an ecosystem of Black businesses who want to see each other grow. Tap in. We got Rose Designs. We got Tiffany's Closet. We got marketing who do all these things, who want to see each other win. And I'm just telling you, we put our hands together in clasp and work together. Like, we're going to build something big in 2024. That's what we're planning on doing. What you plan on doing? That's it. That's my spiel.
Boom! Look at that, people. You see this? You see all this Black love going around with all these businesses. I'm just saying, we respect our white people too, but but I'm Black and Nikki Black and everybody Black. Who we a lot of who we deal with is Black.
And we got taxes too. We got unlimited tax.
That's right.
My girl Candace applies for her team. Like,
okay,
we get it together. So if you need your taxes done as a business owner, boom.
Okay.
We got that together for you too. So Yes.
I'm gonna hit a plug into to Jennifer Williams. She does taxes. She's a notary. She's also does small business startup too. She also got a mailbox system in the back. People, I got a mailbox. I use her address as my mailing system and everything for the business and all that. So yeah, people, I'm just letting you know it's other people out. Her name is Jennifer Williams. All in One Tax Services. People, y'all hit her up. She works primarily in this area to help people do some things, but she does help people from state to state too. So she'll take your money and your business. So throw it down. Just like all
Oh,
of us here, people.
if you
What's
are
up?
in the Gary area, also, we have the Firm Gary Edition that
Yeah.
promotes all the culture quality events going on at Gary.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that people know that Gary is thriving and we are on the move. And so the Firm Gary Edition, that is what we do. We promote. So it's ran by some dynamic ladies. The founder is Miss Tanisha Gardner, who also has a consulting firm for your business. We have Lakaya, who has Lady Wisdom. We also have Miss Monica Tatum, who owns Dialogue Wine Bar. We have our logistics person, Ms. May Woods, who also does Darzico's Travel, and Jamia Steele, who does Inspired Soul. And I'm telling you, we are on the move. So definitely make sure you go follow our page. If you got something culture quality at Gary, Gary is coming up. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on, some news, all that other stuff you see. We are a dope city on the move.
There we go. And just know, people, that with these businesses, though, we do things also out of state as well, people. Just to let y'all know, some of these businesses we provide services out of state also. So, with Life Coach Jeff and Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, we will coach you in any state. Nikki Slick Designs will help you build your brand and give you promos in any state that you are in, people. So I want to let you know, we are just not local businesses. We help people international. I life coach somebody who lives in Louisiana. You know what I mean? California, on the East Coast of New York. You know what I mean? Down south in Atlanta. We help these people. So I got to throw that in there and let people know that too, because sometimes people are so tapped into the local environment and they think when we give these shout outs, they think that we just saying that, oh no, these people are just here. No, they live here, but their services can extend out further. So, big ups to these people that we have mentioned. Anybody that we haven't mentioned, oh, dang, since we giving all these shout outs, shout out to my Dope Living TV family. We will be, now this is an event that we are doing locally. We will be at Brown Skin Tea and Coffee in Gary, and we're going to do a live taping of a relationship roundtable. Oh, people, it's going to get down on 27. It's going to get down on 27. Oh, and also, Life Coach Jeff will also be speaking at a health and wellness fair on the 20th from 12 to 4. We're going to be talking about just mental health stability, suicide prevention. We also have 2 girls on the panel in which I life coach on Saturdays. I haven't been there the past couple Saturdays. Jennifer, I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry. But I'll be back next week or the week after the event. I'll be back the week after to go ahead and holler at the girls and see how they New Year going and everything. But yes, people, I will be at that health and wellness fair. It'll be at the Gene Shepherd Community Center right in, Hammond, in Hammond. So yes, everybody, from 12 to 4, catch us out there. I'm trying to figure out how I want to come to you. I don't know if I want to wear a suit, or if I want to be just like this. I might just be like this so I can come a little casual, talk to the people. One good one. Be relatable. Because I do plan on just talking about mental health and mental health stability. So, oh, girl, that's how we roll out here. We do it. We shake hands and kiss baby sometimes. I ain't running for office, though. I ain't running for office. I ain't no Eddie Melton. I ain't nothing like that. We ain't doing all that.
Hey, shout out to Eddie Melton.
Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Eddie. Yes. I don't know if Eddie does watch, but if you do watch, Eddie, shout out to you.
Oh, we don't share it because the firm was actually in at his gala yesterday. So some of the ladies
I saw that. I saw that. That was dope. I saw that. That was dope. Shoot, well, all right, girl. I guess we can wrap this up because we didn't pretty much give the shout out
all around us.
Yes, there's Black excellence everywhere. Black excellence everywhere. So we didn't give all these shout outs. I kind of guess we can end the show right now because this is usually how shows end. You know what I mean?
They do. You can't go back to the deep stuff after you do the shout outs.
No, we can't go back to deep stuff after we've done the shout outs. So we just gonna end it here. And you know what, Nikki, I thank you for coming on. I thank you for sharing your experience after the session. I thank you for just sharing some of the techniques that you use and some of the foundations that you picked up along the way, just with your growth and your development also. I really do appreciate that, Nikki.
Oh, no problem. And can I just give a last minute just advice to people who are really wanting to grow their mindset of just a few books?
Yeah.
Ego is the Enemy is a very good book, and Atomic Habits is another one that will get you, and The Magic of Thinking Big. Those are three books that will get your mind going into the right direction. And if you ever want to listen to a good audible, The Energy Bus. The Energy Bus is something that's very short and it's very good. The energy is going to lead all of this stuff. So you can read all of these things, but if you don't have your energy going in the right place, it's going to be null and void. People are attracted. The law of attraction is about your energy. If you really believe it, in faith, manifestation is about your faith. Trusting God is about faith. So if you're not, having faith in the things that you're doing, you can do all of this work and nothing will come to fruition. You'll get the bare minimum. But if you want the maximum, you got to exercise faith. You really, really do. In yourself, God first, and then in yourself. And then the rest will fall into place. What's for you. And so those affirmations in the morning, how you're waking up every morning, those habits are what you got to build. You got to stick to them. It's consistency.
Yep. Facts. That's what's up. Well, all right, y'all. We are signing out. And remember, this is the episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. And I'm your boy, Life Coach Jeff. And remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. And this is Nikki Spiller. We love y'all. And peace out.
Peace.